Now, Jesus is dealing with a situation here. Let's be honest. It happens inside the church and it happens outside of the church. And I'll guarantee you there's somebody sitting in here tonight that has an ought with somebody outside of this church. Or somebody that has an ought against you. You know what Jesus says? Listen, he said you ought to get up out of this worship service right now and go find that person and make it right with them. How are you going to come to God's house and worship God with a dirty heart? You're angry with somebody. Guess what? Till you try to make it right with them, you're just wasting your time. If you can't be right with people or even try to be right with people on earth, you cannot be right with God that's in heaven. And I'll give you a very, very clear scenario of what happens with church people, because that's who I'm most familiar with. But here's what happens in church sometimes. But here's what happens so many times in churches. And you all know people. You've seen people like this. They go somewhere and they go to church for a while. Something happens, whatever it is, whether it's a pastor they get offended with or a church member, deacon, Sunday school teacher, whatever. And they get mad and they leave. But what happens is then they go to another church, but they never tried to make it right with the church that they came from or the person that they had a falling out with. So therefore, you know what they're doing? They're bringing all that garbage that's in their heart over here to this church. Well, then when they get just a sniff of the same thing happening in that church, they get mad, and you know what they do? We go over to this church, and it just keeps building up. So many times people don't deal with the issue that they have with other people. You know what they want to do? They want to run from their problems. But when they run from their problems, you know what you'll find out? When you stop running, the problem is still there.